Okay, so part two of my drinking and getting sober. So whatever, I eventually decided it was time to get sober. And basically what it was is like my family was like, you need to get help. You need to get help. And I'm like, no, because let me tell you, somebody who's got an addiction is not going to get sober until they want to, until they make that decision. So everybody's forcing me to go to the program. So I would go to the program, learn the language, bring it home, tell my family, oh yeah, the AA, love AA. Meanwhile, knowing I was going to relapse. And then I just remember the day that I got sober, I did look in the mirror and I couldn't stand what I saw. And so everybody knew I had relapsed, and the narrative was always the same. You have to go get help. You need to go to AA. You need to go to treatment, blah, 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 blah. And I called my mom and I said, don't tell me what to do. I'm not going to listen to you. I am not ready to get sober. I hung up the phone. Within hours, I called my mom. I said, I'm going to go to AA. And I think all it was is I needed to make that decision for myself. Yeah. So anyways, I'm not going to pretend that the years of sobriety, especially the first 5 years, were easy for me. Because when you put your anesthetic down, the one thing that works for you, that makes you feel safe and comfortable in your skin, and it lets you talk to people, and you put that anesthetic down, and that anesthetic for other people could be porn, relationships, sex, gambling. There's so many ways that we anesthetize ourselves to live on this planet, right? And I was terrified to put it down, because then that meant I had to be in my own skin. The one thing I did do is I grabbed onto a sponsor that would call me out on my bullshit, because I knew I would manipulate whoever I was working with. And I was terrified of this woman, and she is still such a good friend of mine. She's amazing. She saved my life. She said, I'm not here to save your face. I'm here to save your life. So she called me out on my bullshit all the time. And so I got working with her, and I did absolutely everything she told me to do, even if I didn't believe it. And the whole God thing, all that stuff, it was just suggested to me that stop with the debating society and just do it. You don't have to believe it. Just do it. And then eventually you'll come to believe that this program works. And so essentially, when I first started this program, I saw what she had and I wanted what she had. She walked around that fucking room with her head held high, looking people in the eyes. And for the first 5 years, I couldn't look at people in the eyes. I kept my eyes down. And I remember in, I think, year 5, I said, because people would socialize after the meetings, and I couldn't do it. I had so much social anxiety, and I was working my ass off on the program, and I was feeling better in a lot of areas. I was showing up. I was, raising my kids, and I got this new career. And so there was these things that were happening, but socially, I was so awkward still. And I thought, I did not get sober to feel terrible around other people. And so I remember saying to my sponsor, I worked with her for the first 10 years, my sobriety. And everyone was socializing after the meeting. And after, I said, what's wrong with me? Why can I not stand there and talk with people? Something is wrong. And she said, you know what? The people that you see that are walking around the room right now, because let's be honest, you're in a room of a bunch of other alcoholics or people that are struggling with drug addiction, and not everybody is well. A lot of them are not. But she said, the people that you're watching right now, most of those people aren't going to stay sober. And that didn't make sense to me. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, you are having a hard time right now because you have to do the work to get to that place. And those people are performing. And so they're not leaning on the program. And she said, so eventually the work that you're doing is going to pay off. and you'll stay sober and they won't. And the reason they won't is because they won't have leaned on the program, and then say something happens big in their life and they don't have this history of how to apply the program to your daily problems. Because they're not doing it, they relapse. And that made perfect sense to me. It made me keep going. And I'm so fucking glad that I did, because now I couldn't share at meetings. I couldn't talk to people. I couldn't look at people. Oh my God, I'm the most annoying social bitch at those meetings. It's fucking annoying, okay? And I know people that struggle with sharing at meetings and struggle in social situations. And I just remind them that I was exactly you. Like, you think that I have been this way because that's the only way that you know me, but it's not. I was exactly like you 5 years ago, you know? And so the program that I'm in, it's a program designed for living. I wish everybody could have it because it's a beautiful program. One thing I started doing very early on, and I think it's more cognitive behavioral therapy stuff, but it was learning about the brain and the looping, the negative looping and the negative self-talk, and you're a piece of shit and you're a loser, nobody loves you, everybody hates you. You walk into a room and you think everybody is thinking something about you, and let me just tell you right now, everyone is so busy thinking about themselves, they don't give a fuck about you. Okay, just remember that. Because if you walk into a room and you think people are talking about you, they're not. They are not. Because they're thinking about their own selves. I love that. But anyways, it was my sponsor that was just like, and this suggestion helped me and saved my life. Basically, the thought is our brain's out there looking for things to protect ourselves, like, oh my God, this is going to happen and you're going to die, and so you need to be prepared, blah, blah, blah. And so your brain is always looking for evidence of something to be bad, right? And usually you're the bad one, right? Especially because you've been told your entire life, you are the bad kid, you are the bad one, you're the black sheep. Well, being told to have awareness of my thinking was the first step. Like, hearing what I'm saying to myself, paying attention to that was the first step. And then it was acknowledging, oh, okay, I see, I am saying, you know, I look like a piece of shit or whatever that is. And then she said, and I want you to say the opposite at the time that you are aware of it. So it takes a lot of work, because you have to be in constant awareness. and it is exhausting, but it pays off. And so she would say, if you think you're a piece of shit, then I want you to say, you know what? You're sober. You're doing the best you can. You're doing a really good job, even if you don't fucking believe it, because your brain, you can retrain your brain. And so the coolest part about that is I can wake up in the morning now, and if I have you're a piece of shit, because normally that's what I wake up feeling like, I hate it here, I want to die. I've just been like that my whole life. But because I have two ways of thinking, I only had one way of thinking before. And it was always, fuck you, fuck them, fuck everything, fuck. But when you start this new narrative is actually, no, I am a really loving person. Then you have the option to think about the loving, gentle voice in your head. So I wake up in the morning and I have the immediate negative thought, but because I now have two different ways of thinking about myself, I can choose in the morning which one I want to listen to. And sometimes I listen to the one that I'm a piece of shit. And then I wear my dirty diaper all day and I cry, and that's okay. But some days I wake up and I'm like, okay, no, we're not playing this game. And I talk to myself, we're not playing this game. I'm actually doing really well. I'm going to pause and do a part 3.